Hello guys on the YouTube. Hello. This is gonna be a very on the fly kind of thing. I don't have anything prepared, but we did test quite a bit of stuff. It's been like 3 hours since Guild Wars started, so managed to fuck around with quite a few setups, including Magnas, of course. So I'm just here to kinda let you guys know what the hell is going on, what I did. Obviously, this is not the best setups. I'm not gonna tell you which is the best setups. This is the few ones that I tested in these 3 hours, and which one is like the nice one and consistent one, I guess, along those lines and shit. Okay, so I do not have like the setup like in here right now, but in terms of primal, I've tested the Masquerade one. I tested the Iatromantis with Asparas, with Viking. So this few classes I just mentioned, Masquerade, Iatromantis, Aspara, Viking, all works. They all work with the same party members here. And basically what you're doing is that you're just autoing, you're doing non-ougi setups. Like, you disable the ougi. Technically you can, it probably still works anyway, but I don't, because it feels kind of slow with it. So yeah, I disabled that, and yeah, the grid is more or less that. Which I think a lot of people seems to not have, so but if you want to know, that's what I'm using, okay? So it's not meant to it's not something for you to replicate, I guess. But if you want to know, this is the shit I tested, okay? I'm not here to tell you what you should not do and what you should do anyway, okay? Yeah, so this is stuff I was using, okay? This is the stuff I was using. The main hand, I think for Masquerade, I was using this because I have no other fucking weapons to use. I don't have any other weapons to use. This is just, yeah, I'm using Magna Opus because I don't want to change my primal shit, so I was using auto cap, stamina shit, because I'm mostly focused on auto anyway. But yeah, and two members, blah, 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 blah. This is the grid. Yeah, okay. So this is the one I was using for Iatromantis and Aspara, I'm using somewhat similar main hand, which is, I think I was using Europa Spear as a main hand, and then for Iatromantis, you would go double spear instead of anything else, because why would you want to use staff for that one? So for double spear, I use Granblue spear and Europa spear as like the main hand stuff and auxiliary weapon for that one. The grid is mostly the same. It didn't really change too much. For the Viking, I used Wamdu's axe and the what's this? Astro weapon. Yeah, water astro weapon for the main hand auxiliary weapon. It doesn't really matter which side you use because, you know, I was just using non-ougi setups regardless, so it doesn't really matter. If you want to ougi, you should, if you have somewhat a similar grid as me, you probably want to ougi with Wamdu's axe. That one's probably better. But at the same time, you probably could also use Astro because it gives you Echo. So it's up to you, really. Both works. If you want more damage, probably Astro because it gives you Echo. Right, okay. And then for skills. For skills, they're all mostly the same. So for Viking is... I'm just going to show it to you right now. So for Viking, I think I did was... I kind of used this and mostly just this extend buff thing, which is not really a big deal, but yeah, I used that. You don't really need these two either, but if you want to just do extra debuff, sure, I guess, but I don't think you really need them. So you can just remove two of them, so MC only press this too, technically. Yeah. And then for Aspara is also the same, more or less the same, but the only difference is that Aspara, I removed everything. For Aspara, I removed everything. I have 0 skills. Like, I don't really bother with it. I did kind of put Miss in there, but I kind of feel like Miss is not really a big deal. But yeah, if you want to just put Miss in there, sure, I guess. But other than that, I didn't really put any skills for Aspara at all. And then for... for Masquerade is only the one that is slightly different. But from what I've seen so far, the The results probably Masquerade is the fastest, but I would find Masquerade might be a little bit annoying for some people because it's not 100% full auto. Yeah, it's not 100% full auto, unfortunately, because we have to press the field effecting just to make it more consistent and shit. So then we're using the double strike thing and the other double strike thing for this Masquerade class. So the only manual thing you need to press is you press this in turn 1 and then you just full auto all the way. So it might be a little bit annoying for some people, but if your damage is consistent enough, you can actually kill it in 5 turns. And 5 turns is like 1 minute 35 seconds or something, so it's pretty good. But like, yeah, like I said, I'm not really going for like the fastest one, because you know there's people out there probably hit like 120 1 minute, sub 1 minute, I don't know. Yeah, those people are doing that. I don't really care, but yeah. So these are the few setups that I did, tested, and the other ones, obviously the one that a lot of people probably would want to use or test or use not test, is obviously the freaking Kango setup, right? Yeah, you can use N in there if you want. So for the grid, you can just kind of ignore, because I tested this in Magna and it works just fine as well. Same goes for N as well. It works just fine. But the only problem with this is that it's quite slow. It's consistent. You won't die, but it's quite slow. Because I think the clear was like almost 3 minutes, I think. For Magna, where is it? I think it's somewhere here. No, not this one. Here. No, not that one. Oh yeah, this is the few ones I tested earlier. Like yeah, the Viking is like around 2 minutes. So this is okay. 1 minute 54 for Aspara without, yeah. So it's not too bad, right? This is like non-ougi stuff. Yeah, even Mantis is actually okay. So this is the few times you would probably expect. So timing wise is actually not so bad. So okay, this is a fail one. Don't look at that. So yeah, this is another Masquerade one. It's like 151. But yeah, like the fastest one I did was like if consistent damage is like 101 minute 35 or something. Where is it? Yeah, like something like this time. So it's quite nice, right? So, but yeah, that's for that. So if you're going for like Kango, I need to go further back, I think. Okay, not that one. I'll get into that setup later. No, not that fail one. Not this one either. Fuck, what the hell is it? Shit. No editing on YouTube videos, so I'm sorry. Fuck, where the hell is it? I can't find it. No, where is it? Oh shit, I can't find it. Somewhere, dude, it's somewhere here. I do not know where, bruh. I don't know where. It's somewhere here. No, where is it? Nani? No, not this one. No, not this one either. Dude, where the hell is it? Oh shit! Oh god damn. This is definitely primal, but wait, is this the one? No, I don't think so, but yeah, the time is more or less like that, okay? It's more, the time is more or less in there. The character, you can probably use slightly different ones, obviously. You can, yeah, you can just get rid of this dude and you still do relatively okay, but I think for this one in particular, you probably want Poseidon because of his S3, because Hekate actually does a lot of annoying debuffs. That's kind of the main reason why it's a lot of people are actually using Poseidon in their setup for like full auto stuff a lot of times in NM95, which probably is going to be the case for 150 and 200 as well later on. But if you actually do not have Poseidon, I probably would suggest you to try using Mantis instead, because Mantis kind of helps with that shit if you do not have like the likes of Poseidon to help you with that, obviously. But yeah, so for like Kango stuff, you could also use the exact same thing. Instead of Kango, you can go Relic Buster and then use the standard Magna setup, which is 4 Oberons, 4 Oberons, 2 Europa harps, and if you have at least one Diaspora weapon, just slot in there. If you have two better, just slot that shit in there. And then you just use, if you're using Relic Buster, you probably want to use Astral as your main hand, because you can also do extra Dispel and extra Echo on Ougi as well for that one. So you probably would do that. For Magna's case, I also kind of tried the auto only setup, but it wasn't too consistent, unfortunately. Yeah, it wasn't really too consistent. It will still work, but sometimes I feel like it can be very inconsistent, meaning like the debuffs can fuck you up really, really bad. And like if you do not have Poseidon, it's a lot worse, right? So you probably don't want to do that. So maybe instead of, you can use the same setup, but instead of using like just mainly auto stuff, I would probably suggest just to click the Ougi button, and it's probably better that way. Yeah, especially if you're Magna, because it's actually, Magna kind of sucks, so yeah. So a lot of times, yeah, Magna has very, very similar grid anyway. You're mostly following around like Alberons and Europa harps and maybe Diaspora here and there, but more or less it's just kind of like the same thing. So it's not really a big deal. But yeah, that's kind of like the grid that I'm using for Magna, if you're wondering. Then yeah, character wise, oh yeah, I also tried the old, what's that, the very, very old school Summer Cax setup with Relic Buster. I remember I used that a lot with the Kolulu and Doggo. So that way it's like around turn 6 or so you can actually get that shit in. So it's like you probably can use that for Magna. I think I haven't tested that on Magna, but I think you should be able to run that just fine. Whether is it consistent or not, maybe it might, because it might not be because of the debuffs and all that. But I think other than that, damage should still be okay. Yeah, because you know the problem with Magna is that auto damage might be a little bit insufficient, right? But yeah, like if you have Diaspora weapons in there, probably is actually not too bad, because you kind of like negate off the lack of auto damage with your Ougi damage. Because I already tested in Magna, if you have Diaspora Katanas, you'll be hitting like 6 million plus Ougis, which is amazing, right? And without that, you're probably only hitting like 4 to 5 mil-ish. Yeah, probably 4 mil-ish, around there. So it's not really as high as with Diaspora weapons, if you're planning to use that one, if you so desire. Yeah. So but other than that, I don't think I really swap around my summons all that much. So my summons is all mostly like that. So if you do not have some of these, you are probably fucked. But this is just more like to make things easier kind of thing, obviously. But like, yeah, like I said, if you have the same similar setup with Kango and shit, I don't think you probably won't have any issues at all. I'm very, very certain if you're using like even like this setup, right? You probably will not die in Magna. You probably won't. You should be able to clear just fine in under 3 minutes. Or probably 3 minutes. If your grid is weaker than me or something, probably slightly higher than 3 minutes, which is still not that bad, right? It's still okay. Because, you know, end of the day, you just want consistent clears and relatively decent times rather than you needing to take like 10 fucking minutes to clear or some shit. And then, it is very, very like, your characters are like very inconsistent. You just dies here and there and stuff. You probably don't want that, right? So yeah, so end of the day, Magna is still fine if you're using like Relic Buster with, you know, very, very certain key characters. Yeah, Poseidon, Doggo, and whatever, and works as well. I actually haven't tried Wamdus, because I don't think Wamdus is actually needed for such a very, very short fight like this one. But maybe later on I probably would try. But for now, I think like the very usual culprits, like yeah, Ingwe is actually kind of nice. Ingwe, Doggo, yeah, and it can work. The Jutens I never really bothered trying because there's really no point to use them too. However, I do not know where the hell is it in the in here, but I did actually try chat. Yes, I think you probably saw what chat was mentioning earlier as well. There was one run I tested with chat, and it was actually relatively good as well. I think, yeah, there it is. See, it's not bad, right? This was Magna, right? Was this Magna? I actually don't remember. Probably not though. Was this Magna? Yeah, it is Magna. See, it's fine, right? See, it's Magna. It's fine. See, it's fine. Chat works, man. Shit, dude. See, it's okay. You can use chat. You can use, yeah, I used Izmir because I needed the extra weapon slot to get more raw damage in there. So that's why I used Izmir, and relatively, Izmir is actually a not too bad full auto character as well, because, you know, she also provides the seraphic weapon in there by being in the party. So yes, she's very, very nice to have. And the other thing is that because I'm also somewhat doing ougis here and there, Izmir, the OG Izmir is actually relatively nice for that. That's why. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, this is the one where I ougi here and there. So as you can see, I do ougi here and there. So it's not too bad, right? It's just not even 3 minutes. It's quite clear. But this is the one that I used with the Aspara katanas. So keep that in mind. That's probably why I'm doing a little bit more damage than usual than some. But yeah, other than that, I usually just been testing a lot of the auto only thing. As you can see, I have not ougi a single time, and the clear times has been relatively okay. So like zero ougis has been not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. So I think that's mostly really about it, I would say, when it comes to full auto stuff. But if you want to see the Masquerade one that I used, like how it functions, I can probably show you, because this is the fastest one that I did. And I'm just gonna use this back, because why the hell not? So yeah, this like this. I already showed the grid and I already told you the grid. If you still ask me what grid am I using, you guys probably should rewatch the damn video, because I already explained it. Yeah. Alright. Give praise to Hekate, for she has no equal, because her tits are so fucking massive. Right? God damn! Yeah, so basically this full auto is that I just press the field thing. The field thing, turn off ougi, and you watch. And this should clear at least in, I think the even the slowest one was like 1 minute 50, so it's not so bad. So yeah, let's just watch this, I guess. If I want to clear it the fastest from what I'm seeing, if I want a faster clear in the full auto, my damage must be so inconsistent that my second turn needs to literally end at 51. Okay, this might be the fast one. Oh yeah, I think this might be the fast one. Yeah, this might be the fast one then. Boss champ? Yeah, because you see that the debuffs are still there. Because the reason why it kind of slowed down sometimes is because my debuffs ran out and my damage is very inconsistent after that. So that's kind of like the only downside of it. I'm not sure if the multi-attack on MC really matters. Probably not though. So yeah. This should kill, I think. Yeah. Yep, this should kill. Yep. I think this is 136 again. I think. Yep, there we go. So a good, if it actually happens like that, it'll be like a 136, 135 or something. If I can actually get my second turn to hit 51%. If I actually go over, it'll be like this. Yeah, if I actually go over the 50, it'll be just like this. So it's not really that much difference. So I mean, end of the day, it's up to you, right? Whether you want to consistently pay attention to your GBF screen, if you want a full auto or not, something like that. But yeah, that's probably the only one I'm going to show you, because if you really want to see all the testing and shit, I suggest you just go rewatch my VOD on today's stream, because I'm gonna put this segment on YouTube immediately already without any form of editing. But yeah, so that's all I have for today, because today is only Nightmare 95. You don't really need to like spend too much time like trying to do shit. The real shit comes tomorrow, so we're gonna do more stuff again tomorrow. So yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing again tomorrow and let you guys know which is good or not. And yeah, all right, thanks for watching. I'll wish you guys the best of luck in Guild War, because we are all fucked anyway. Yeah, because Guild War is killing us on the inside, other than watching Hekate's titties bouncing here up and down, right? Yeah, okay. All right. All right, thank you. Okay, bye-bye. All right.